Today I celebrate a new patron. Why don't you decide to join him? Hello out there, this is Wake Angel 2001, and we bring you a commission for someone who wished to remain anonymous. I don't exactly know why, because his choice of character is hardly controversial. It's the post-Super Genesis Wave Bunnie. Yep, it had to happen eventually. Someone finally commissioned a post-Super Genesis Wave version of a freedom fighter. Of course, with the Super Genesis Wave, we have a bit of rebooted backstory. So let's get into it. Now, we have been living under the Super Genesis reboot for a while now, but they haven't really gotten into fleshing out all of the characters' backstories just yet. Which I think is actually kind of good, because that means that we haven't been assailed with a whole bunch of exposition dumps about backstories. They're getting onto telling the new stories and revealing stuff to us as time passes, which is a good way to tell a story. Of course, the most recent issues actually saw a bit of fill-in for what Bunnie's new backstory is like, which is pretty interesting. First, let's give a refresher course on Bunnie's original origin. Way back in the third issue of the comic, like, over 20 years ago, Bunnie was just some innocent farmer who was captured by a platoon of SWAT bots and stuck into a portable roboticizer. Sonic and Rotor were able to rescue her, but not before half of her body was roboticized. Now, as we all know, she bounced right back from this as soon as she regained consciousness and pretty much instantaneously became a superhero. It wouldn't be until, like, the Sonic Girl special, which was like 70 or 80 issues later, that Bunnie's roboticized limbs would begin to get rejected by the organic half of her body, necessitating the need for cybernetics. Now, in the rebooted backstory, aside from the fact that she apparently took fashion tips from Babs Bunnie of Tiny Toons fame, with the ear bows, after she was roboticized, Bunnie required rehab. She was outright wheelchair-bound and had to learn how to walk again. Not only that, but even after she did, her roboticized limbs would cause her constant pain. This was also introduced as a bit of reasoning for Tails to get into engineering. It wasn't just he showed a knack for fixing Sonic's plane this time. He did it so he could help develop new cybernetics for Bunnie, so that she wouldn't be assaulted by the pain of her natural roboticized limbs. This is kind of heavy for a Sonic the Hedgehog backstory, but I kind of like it. Anyway, let's get on to making the toy. So the base figure, it's super silver. Mostly because, first of all, it's actually kind of one of the cheapest figures you can get from Toy Wiz right now. And second, that, well, you know, silver's buck can just be converted to a female torso relatively easily. So here's the full recipe laid bare. There's an extra Tails head that I had lying around, and I swapped out an extra pair of legs. I think they were originally from a Shadow figure. So getting into the mods, we start with the head. Of course, there's the ears. That's a constant for Bunnie. Although her bangs are different now, and she just has one big ponytail. Also, interestingly enough, she doesn't have cheek tufts anymore. She has like a smooth hot dog shaped muzzle from the front like Sonic does, but she still does have fur tufts. They're just farther back on her head. Kinda similar to what I did with Monkey Kong a while ago. Now, in painting her face, this time her eyes are wide open. I usually go for most female characters to go with that half-lidded expression, like what you see on all the Rouge de Bat paintings, but I guess he just wanted her to look more alert and less sultry. So that's her head. The body mods you should be pretty familiar with how I mod a silver body by now. I use the Dremel to carve it into a curvier shape, and then I sculpt on, female bits, like the boobs, and in this case, a nice big floofy bunny tail. It's really hard to take a picture of this thing because it's so pale yellow and tiny, but once it's painted, the camera has something to focus on. So yeah, that's Bunny's new body. As for the feet, they're an ordinary pair of Tails' feet. I just sanded the cuff away. This is actually the first time I made a bunny where I didn't have to completely scratch build new feet because her new design basically looks like she's wearing shoes. I also sculpted a little bit onto the cuff of her left hand to look like the robot cuff on her left arm. And then when the feet are painted, I like how, despite the fact that she's supposed to look like she's wearing shoes, they still homage the 3 big bunny toes by putting that pink stripe in the middle, separating the shoe into 3 sectors. It kind of works. And the arms are just painted, one's organic and one is silver. So let's go ahead and reassemble the bunny figure and see what she looks like now. Silver's ridiculously long neck peg comes into play here as it gives Bunny an unusual... it gives her a neck, basically. I don't know, maybe a little bit too much neck? I'm not sure. I mean, a little bit of neck looks nicer on a female figure, but I don't know. Maybe I'm going to have to start drilling deeper into Tails' head so it can penetrate deeper, or shortening the peg so that it won't come out as much. It all depends on what the commissioner likes. So yeah, that's fully assembled Bunny. The funny thing is, she looks so much more symmetrical now. I think it's because of the lack of the giant shoulder. Because now her new shoulder is small and the same size as her regular organic shoulder. So that kind of works out. So yeah, the figure still has all the posability that you'd expect from this kind of figure. It's all good. I really like it. She's so cute. I really like the post-Super Genesis coloring. It's very cute. It's a very good design is what I'm trying to get at. Alright, so we will be making the Antoine figure pretty soon. Don't worry, the pair will not be separated. And this is Wake Angel 2001 signing off.